Look, man, something that, I've been learning and, really just been thinking about a lot is, the idea that comprehension is way more valuable than communication. You know what I'm saying? Like being under or being able to understand somebody and where they're coming from, what they're really trying to tell you and what they're really trying to say. Like being able to understand that is far more valuable than just, responding to somebody or just talking to somebody, communicating with somebody. Like most people, I'll be honest, bro, they only talk to respond. They only talk to just hold a conversation or to just, whatever people may talk you for, you know what I'm saying? But not a lot of people talk to understand and talk to, really learn other people or really learn why other people feel this type of way or why other people, have this certain opinion or that certain opinion. Like not a lot of people have conversations to really understand, and when you're communicating, when you're talking, like being heard, you know what I'm saying, means nothing if you don't understand what the person is actually saying, what you don't understand the point they're trying to get across, what they're trying to, iterate to you. Like that's nothing if you're not able to understand that. Somebody can tell you they want this and they want that and they need this from you, they need that from you. And yeah, you can say, okay, all you want. You can say, yeah, I got you all you want. But if you don't really understand what that person might need, or you don't really understand what that person is trying to tell you, you're never going to be able to come through on what they really want. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not really comprehending what they're trying to tell you or what they're saying. Like just because you're communicating, just because you're talking, like we all say communication, is a big thing in relationships and friendships, just with other people. Like communication, that is a very big thing. But with the communication, you got to be able to comprehend. Like just because you're communicating does not equal understanding. It doesn't mean that you're understanding that person. Like you can communicate all day and still not see the point. You can still miss the point, even though y'all have talked all day. Y'all have had this conversation about this. Y'all have had the conversation about that. But you can still miss the point no matter how much you communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like you can still not have a clear understanding on what they're saying. So the words that y'all are communicating, the words that y'all are speaking without understanding will create a conflict at some point because, like I said, you don't understand where that person might be coming from. You don't comprehend where they're coming from. Like it's going to cause conflict before it causes a connection. Like I said, you can communicate all day you want, but it's nothing without comprehension. It's nothing without a good understanding, and that's why a lot of arguments come up, relationship wise, friendship wise, whatever you want to call it. Like we always argue, not because people aren't able to communicate, but because people really won't listen. People won't, understand or try to understand what everybody's saying. They just want to hold the conversation. Like comprehension, bro, it's a big thing, man. And a lot of times people don't want to, understand the person or trying to comprehend the person because their ego might be too big, their pride might be too big. And, they don't really want to be that person that somebody runs to when times might get tough, when times might get hard. Like being able to comprehend requires you to be humble. It requires you to dumb down your ego and dumb down your pride just to understand a person. Like that's what understanding someone means. It means slowing down your ego, killing your pride. It means simply just listening without trying to respond, without trying to, prepare a comeback or win the argument. I talked about this, I think it was yesterday. Like you don't always got to be right. Like sometimes you can literally just listen. Like 99% of the time, that's all a person wants when they run to you with their problems, when they try to vent to you, or when they simply just need someone to talk to. Like they don't really want your opinion all the time. They don't really want, the solution all the time. They don't really want your part that, you were going to say. Like they don't want that. They simply just need somebody to listen. You know what I'm saying? To sit there and be a listening ear and, make them feel safe because you're the person that comprehends them. You're the person that can understand them on a deeper level. And it's not even just about that. Like you don't even have to agree to comprehend, but you do have to be present. You know what I'm saying? You have to be present in that moment. You have to be able to listen to these people when they come to you, bro, because being a listening ear, like that's what good people do, bro. That's what good humans do, is just be the shoulder people lean on and be the listening ear when somebody else might need it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know me personally, bro, there's times where I just want to vent to somebody, you know what I'm saying? Just talk to somebody about a certain situation or whatever you want to call it. Like there's times where I want to do that. And there's people that I have that will really listen to me, you know what I'm saying? That will really try to understand me with everything they got without trying to put their input in, you know what I'm saying? Without trying to respond. Like there's people that would just listen. And I feel like me personally, bro, I'm a person that listens, but it's something I can also work on because there is times where I try to put my input in. There is times where I try to bring a solution, and I feel like I can be better as a listener, you know, better as a comprehender, you know? So that's something that I feel like we all can work on, bro. Is just trying to grow, you know, in the understanding side of things and the comprehension side of things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that, you know, us as a society, I personally feel like we can really work on, bro, because a lot of times when somebody needs a listening ear, when somebody needs to just vent and talk, like there's not a lot of people they can run to because everybody likes to put their input in. Everybody likes to win the argument or likes to, you know, bring a solution to situations that really don't need a solution. You know, people just want to be heard, you know, and when you start to understand people, when you start to, you know, comprehend, like growth comes from that. You know what I'm saying? You're able to learn more about people. You're able to learn more from people that you probably would have never learned before if you didn't learn to understand people, if you didn't learn to, you know, listen to people. Like the people who grow the most are the ones who are willing to learn, who are willing to understand, who are willing to, you know, see other people's perspective or see other people's point of view without trying to always be right. You know what I'm saying? And when you when you start to comprehend, like that's sharpening your wisdom. That's making you smarter. That's making, you know, a better connection in your relationships. That's being able to lead. Like comprehension sharpens a lot of things in your life that you might not even know because you're not trying to comprehend people. You're not trying to understand people. So if you want better conversations, bro, if you want, you know, better bonds or better connections with people, you want to learn more, like you got to start listening more than you speak. I'm saying you got to start understanding what people are saying, whether it's in communication, whether it's anything. Like when people speak, bro, you really got to listen and you really got to try to understand and comprehend to the best of your ability, because that's making you better as a person also. And it's also giving that other person, you know, a safe space to run to when they need it, you know, because we all need that safe space at sometimes too. So I've always been taught, you know, treat people how you want to be treated. You know, if you want to listen in ear, if you want somebody to talk to at times, like sometimes you might have to be the person that people run to talk or to vent, you know. So just comprehend, man. Comprehend, especially in this day and age where everybody's on social media talking about communication this, communication that, but it's deeper than communication. Like you also got to comprehend what people are saying, man. So, you know, sometimes you just got to speak less and understand more, you know, and when you understand and when you try to listen, like listen to learn, listen to see other people's point of view, listen to see other people's perspective and not to win the argument or not to always have your input in it, you know, because your comprehension will build, you know, what communication alone never will. Like communication, you can communicate all you want, but what is that really building without comprehension? You know what I'm saying? Without actually listening and understanding where a person might be coming from. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this video, go hit that sub button. We're with 800 subs. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one.